And in the exam, did you attempt all the questions? Were you able to complete all of your GS papers and your optional papers in time? Like, how's it? And like, how did you go about, like, did you answer all the questions, or did you choose that, okay, these are my strength areas, I'm going to, like, what was your strategy? Different ways can be there, that these are my strong areas, I'm first going to attempt the questions of my strong areas, or these are my weak areas, let us get the weak areas out quickly, or a simple follow the orderly format, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10, and just write it. So did you divide your 3 hours or into, by number of questions? Like, how did you do the time management? How many questions did you attempt? What is the strategy in mains as well as in prelims?
So sir, talking about mains, we actually do not have a lot of time in mains. Every minute is very important in the mains examination. So I started by writing the 15 markers first, because those were the lengthier aspects, and those required writing more, and in lesser time you can finish the 10 markers. So I started with the 15 markers, and I would suggest to not begin with reading the question paper entirely first, because that would take 5 minutes of yours, and then you would have 5 minutes less for attempting the last question. So just read and attempt. If you don't know anything, you can skip it definitely, but try attempting all the questions, because attempting all the questions is very important to about finding your name in that list of qualifying mains. So for myself, the only aim for mains was attempting the entire papers. That was the only aim that I had in my head, and I could finish all the papers in time.
Okay, so you began with the 15 markers, which require your maximum analysis.
Yes.
And then you moved on to shorter,
Yes.
these things. Okay. And otherwise you followed the serial order. There was no differentiation that geography is strong, so I'm going to,
No, sir.
nothing like that. Okay. And in prelims?
So in prelims, so I started with the first question itself, but sometimes what happens that you get a set where the first few questions are very difficult, or
Yes.
for example, the first few questions are of science and you are from humanities background. So in that case, you can actually select from where to start with a comfortable portion. For example, polity can be good of most of the students who are preparing for this exam. So you can start with polity. That would give you confidence, that would give you the strength to move on to the difficult portions. So in prelims, you can do it flexibly, but we must remember to mark the OMR also correctly with that.
Okay. Because at times what happens, if your subject is not strong and then there are confusing options,
Yes.
you end up getting stuck on that one, question for
Yes.
multiple minutes. I mean, that results in your time management gets a little.
Yes, sir, that happens, and that needs to be avoided.
And did you, like, two kind of strategies are there. Some aspirants or some toppers, they say that they believe in, like, answering the maximum, because that ratio is there, right? That if I get 3 questions wrong and if I get 1 correct, or, like, it's like negative marking. And also, some students, they go aggressive approach. Some students, they go for defensive, कि whatever जो भी मैं आंसर कर रहा हूँ वो मेरा ठीक होना चाहिए. तो आपकी क्या strategy थी इसमें?
So sir, for this, you must know what works for you. For some people, attempting a lot of questions works well, whereas for others, attempting fewer questions works well. So how would you get to know that? That is by attempting the mock tests, which you'll do every day at your home. So once you attempt the mock test, just have a broad framework of the range that is working for you. For example, in my case, I realized that in my previous prelims, I attempted only 76 questions and I failed by a few marks. But whenever I used to do more than 90 questions, that worked well for me.
Okay.
However, this range should not be very strict, because the paper can be difficult or easy, and depending on that, you have to flexibly change your range. But a broad framework can be kept in mind.
For watching my video, and don't forget to subscribe my channel and hit the bell icon.